Hi, Dr. Coughlin. I'm Sharon. My first question is distinguish the ethic of personal integrity from the ethic of social responsibility. And my answer is this is a question about how a society and social institutions such as corporation ought to be structured and about how we ought to live together. This area is sometimes referred to as social ethic and it raises questions of justice, public policy, law, civic virtues, organization structure, and political philosophy. In this sense, business ethics is concerned with how business institutions ought to be structured, about whether they have responsibility to the greater society, corporate social responsible or CSR, and about making decisions that will impact many people other than the individual decision maker. This aspect of business ethics asks us to examine business institutions from a social rather than from an individual perspective. We refer to this broader social aspect of ethics as decision making for social responsibility. Becton and Company encountered with scandal of BD employee utilize public assets for their exclusive career advancement or accolades, which show how immoral future of personal traits recruitment standard from the HR department. Firstly, the supervisor team of HR department needs to be in an sufficient routinely trained immediately in consideration of continually strive for greater ethical standard in the organization. In essence, managerial decision making will always involve both of these aspects of ethics. Each decision that a business manager makes involves not only a personal decision, but also a decision on behalf of, and in the name of, an organization that exists within a particular social, legal, and political environment. Thus, our book's title makes reference to both aspects of business ethics. Within a business setting, individuals will constantly be asked to make decisions affecting both their own personal integrity and their social responsibilities. The code of conduct should elaborate notably in the training over and over again. The importance of emphasizing is expressed in terms of how we should live. The major reason to start the ethic become clear. Whether we expectedly examine this question, each and every one of us answer them every day through our behaviors in the course of living our lives. Whatever decision business manager make, they will have to take a stand on ethical issues, at least empirically. The action each one of us take in the lives we lead give very practically and unavoidable answer to fundamental ethical question. We therefore make a very real choice as to whether we answer them deliberately or unconsciously. Philosophical ethics merely asks us to step back from this implicit everyday decision to examine and evaluate them. Thus, Socrates gave the philosophical answer to why you should study ethics more than 2,000 years ago. The unexamined life is not worth living. Every employee in the organization should strive for the unconditionally agreed the code of conduct to improving the harmonic atmosphere of human a fair environment. Norms mean to say that ethics is a normative discipline is to say that it deals with norms, low standard of appropriate and proper or normal behavior. Norms establish the guideline or standard for determining what we should do, how we should act, what type of person we should be. Another way to expressing this point is to say that norms appeal to certain values that would be promoted or attained by acting in a certain way. Normative disciplines presuppose some underlying value. In other words, BD's standard of appropriate and proper behavior will be when notice reflect like financial transaction. We should become the whistleblower and report the occurrence. Value means value as the underlying beliefs that cause us to act or to decide in one way rather than another. Thus, the value that I place on an education leads me to make the decision to study rather than playing video games. I believe that education is more worthy or valuable than playing games. I make the decision to spend my money on grocery rather than on a vacation because I value food more than relaxation. A company core value, for example, are those beliefs and principles that provide the ultimate guides to its decision making. BD in this case will be required in supplementing the code of conduct with the definition of value. The value should be elemental expectation that shape every BD employee to perform their tasks with company core value, especially in we do what is right, is the BD value. Understood in this way, many different types of value can be recognized: financial, religious, legal, historical, nutrition, public, scientific, and aesthetic. Individuals can have their own personal value, and importantly, institutions also have value. Talk of a corporation culture is a way of saying that a corporation has a set of identifiable value that establish the expectation for what is normal within the firm. This norm got employee impolitically more often than not to behave in ways that the firm value and find worthy. One important implication of this guidance, of course, is that an individual's or a corporation's set of value may lead to either ethical or unethical result. The corporate culture at Orion, for example, seems to have been committed to pushing the envelope of legality as far as possible in order to get away with as much as possible in pursuit of as much money as possible. Values? Yes. Ethical values? No. Two fundamental concepts of ethical value are ethical values serve the end of human well-being, and the well-being promoted by ethical value is not a personal and selfish well-being. In regard to BD case, there are two possible distinctive consequences of ethical or unethical activity as a result of involved employee degree level of integrity within the BD community. One could be ethically permissible because of its decision may benefit more individuals in a society than harms. Another could be ethical impermissible because of its decision may benefit less individuals in a society than harms. Second question is norms and value of ethical versus norm and value business related. My answer is Becton-Dickinson of Company encountered with scandal of BD employee handle public except for their illegal mates, privilege, career advancement, which showed the unethical recruitment standard from the Human Resource Department. To say that ethic is a normative discipline is to say that it deals with norms. Those standards of appropriate and proper or normal behavior. Norms establish the guideline or standard for determining what we should do, how we should act, what type of person we should be. Another way of expressing this point is to say that norms appeal to certain values that will be promoted or attained by acting in a certain way. Normative discipline presupposes some underlying value. In ideal principle-based reality, the human resource recruitment team need to be in an consist high-frequency training, especially with regard to consistently go all out for higher moral level requirement in the organization. Value as the underlying belief that keys us to act or to decide one way rather than another. Thus, the value that I place on an education leads me to make the decision to study rather than play video game. I believe that education is more worthy or valuable than playing games. I make the decision to spend my money on grocery rather than on a vacation because I value food more than relaxation. A company core value, for example, are those beliefs and principles that provide the ultimate goals to its decision making. Ethical values are those beliefs and principles that impartially promote human well-being. The case of Becton-Dickinson presents challenge of the company quest for implementing an ethic policy that covers its local and global operation. Being a leading medical product organization, BD Code of Conduct and Ethics offer an opportunity for establishing integrity in its activities. Addressing the problem facing Becton-Dickinson requires several strategy and consideration. As indicated in the case, the firm has made remarkable straight, straight to identify ethic issue unique to each country. The stop to organize regional meeting with exclusive and employee is highly commendable as it allows the determination of local challenge. The approach can influence the design of solutions that meet diverse market dynamic. However, despite the recognition of the problem that face each location, the company is yet to come up with applicable remedies to its shortcoming. One of the tactics that the entity should use is the creation of ethic guidelines by mutual consent with foreign nations. In this case, while the overall core of ethics should offer the foundation for other policy, it is imperative to contemplate the moral perspective in each market. For instance, while the United States prohibit giving of gifts in some regions, it is good manner to do so. Based on this, BD should establish ethical ramifications that factor large stands of different societies. It is possible to create a universally acceptable moral code for multinational. Therefore, be the approach of involving the manager and inclusive of each region present an excellent opportunity for understanding unique circumstances of each market. Designing ethic guidelines that consider the local attitude give the best solution to the challenge that Becton-Dickinson face in its global operation. As a leader in the medical field, BD road to success was not a smooth ride. Since the initial study on BD corruption issue in 2004, the company had been met with many more obstacles, and many of these issues are related to the BD initial global goal, which was the continuous expansion of the company. Of all of the issues, there were a couple that drew the most attention and caused a fortune from the company. One of these issues was the acquisition of the CareFusion kickback scandal, which could be considered to be a form of corruption that has been the underlying issue that BD has been trying to solve. This issue was ultimately solved by the Department of Justice, and the payout of this lawsuit were enormous. Another incident that is drawing publicity is the current Sovereign lawsuit that BD might be facing another giant payout to the federal jury as much as $340 million. This lawsuit seems to be stand alone from the corruption issue. However, BD is exploited by the federal jury of monopolizing the safety syringe marriage through deceptive practices. In another perspective, the company is actually thriving throughout the year. The initial company stock worth back in 2004 was at a base of approximately $45 a share. Today, BD's stock market worth is breaking over the $230 a share. Financially, the company is doing excellent, but ethically, it is a different story. After all, BD is such a huge company, especially with being the leader of manufacturing medical equipment. It is inevitable being involved in certain risky business. Thank you.